Evening, Matt. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to everyone. I see there's a lot of you in the chat already, so welcome to you all. How are you this week, bro?
Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 155. Good evening, and good evening to my co-host, Morgan Harfeld. Good evening. I'm doing very well, thank you. Just
Say
one
they
thing,
can't hear you,
chat,
but
you've got a
you're
job
back
this week.
now.
We have
I'm
switched
back
to a
saying
slightly
my
different
ears, so
audio
hopefully that's all right.
kind of setup. We were
Oh,
faffing
goodness
about a bit
me.
earlier on. And yeah, so if you could let us know if the audio comes through okay, with all the echoes
Guys,
and whatever else.
we
Hopefully
have spent the better part of
we've
the last
fixed it.
45 minutes trying to
Um,
organize this and make it, perfect for you guys and for us. So yeah, we'll see how we go.
oh, can't hear Matt. What? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Oh my word. After all of this.
Well, guys, it's yeah. While Matt's organising that, I suppose I'll try
Okay.
and have a chat with you all. I usually go with Matt prompting.
So I don't know if.
Oh,
Oh
sorry.
no, it's all right. Is that any better for the chat? Can you hear me now?
Oh, I sound like a robot, or is Matt the big man?
This is way worse. Oh my word.
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Well, Anthony Gilbert, much better. Sounds good. Jason Roy, Matt, that sounds great.
Sounds like I'm in a.
Matt sounds like he's in a rainforest.
Okay. So right. So give me some sound checks here because I'm hoping that I've just changed something. And I'm hoping sounds good now. Okay, right. What about Morgan's sound? Is Morgan's sound okay? Chat.
I'm a bit quiet. Is that right, guys? Matt, can you turn me up?
I can try and turn you up.
I can bring the microphone slightly closer, although.
Okay. All right. So I'm getting the from my.
Thanks, Rich.
Right. Okay. So I think we might be good. Better. Morgan sounds a little quiet. Okay. So Morgan, you might need to talk up.
Yeah, I mean, guys, if you need me to, I can just yell for this whole entire episode. Make sure my neighbours do not go to sleep tonight.
Excellent. Right. Okay. Look. So we've got a great show for you tonight. Obviously, there's a lot been going on in the disc golf world in New Zealand recently, and tonight we've got Leon Botha who's joining us. He wants to make a statement, and really a statement that's for a number of people. I'll let him go into the details about who it's for, and hopefully will provide a little bit of information for maybe people who aren't across all of the details. Perhaps there might be some things that come out that's new. And then after that, actually, have you ever wondered? I don't know if you know this, chat. Have you ever wondered what your rating is going to be when they do the next ratings update? Have you ever played a few rounds, played a tournament, and thought, oh, I wonder what it's going to do to my rating? Well, in a minute or later on, I'm going to show you how you can calculate that yourself on the PDGA website if it's something that you want to do. And it's not, you don't need to be a mathematician or spreadsheets or anything like that. It's simply on the website. You put the details in, and I'll show you how to do it. It's ever so easy. All right.
Yeah,
So,
and if you're anything like me, you don't want to do that, and you just want to wait and see what dismal effort you put in this month.
It was something that came up earlier on in a group chat, and I said, look, I can do a demo on stream tonight if you like, and it got a few people upvoted it, so here we are. Anyway, right, we're going to kick off as we always do with hot scores. So Morgan, takes through the south.
Yes, taking us through the south, loading screen incoming on my end, and as always, I've got Henderson on my end, Matt, so you know what? I'm going to step up and start with Henderson. Henderson, okay. Mr. Aiden with a 51-13 under par, coming in hot, and then shooting all the way back down to Queen's Park and Invercargill, and Mr. Tiaki with a 43-14 under par. Chingford Park's Fabian Montiel shot a 1 under par this week to take out the hot score, followed up by Calvin Cummings at Brockville with a -5. Stiffmeister takes down the Queenstown Gardens this week with a 47-10 under par, and then Tucker Beach James with a 1 over par. Ely Point over in Wanaka, we've got, as always, Mundo McDisc shooting a hot 5 under par. 10 under par for Christian Lovell and Mundo McDisc again up at Lismore, up on the hill. Shooting on up to Christchurch at Jelly Park. Ashton Clark, one of our favourites here on the show, with a 14 under par. Ascot Park sticking to Christchurch here with Sam Cole, shoots a 4 under par. And then at Queen's Park Reserve, Ben Kroll with a 4 under par. And to round out, as always, the north of the south at Taylor River, Stephen Martin with a 2 under par. Nice hot shooting in the south with 1 up in the north in Henderson. How's the rest of the north looking, Matt?
So the rest of the north is looking like... So starting off in Berhampore, Matt Broughton hits a 7 under par 25 up in the hills of Wellington. Across the water at Hikoikoi, Andy Davey birdies every single hole with a 9 under par 18. Well done to Andy. Up the valley at Harcourt Park, it's Johnny Wake and Andy Davey who hit the hot score with a 6 under 48. I think Johnny did that at League last night. I'm not sure when Andy did his. Then up to Linklater in the Mighty Manawatu, Johnny Wake again hits 11 under par at Linklater. Across to Maryland's, Conor McKinstry hits 5 under par at the Maryland's Reds course, and up at Spa Park Black, Tristan hits a 6 under par in the middle of the country. Over at McLaren's, Taylor hits 8 under par, and as Morgan's already said, Aidan hits 13 under par at Henderson. So very well done. If you've got a hot score this week, did you get out yourself, Morgan, this week?
Just this afternoon, Matt, I got out, shot a wee 5 under par at the Queenstown Gardens. It was a really fun round with a
good stuff.
Decent crew of the local guys there. It was nice to get out, and we finished that off with a wee swim in Lake Wakatipu right below the golf course. So
what a day!
Amazing afternoon to finish up with that big day at work.
Oh, good work. I fortunately managed to get out myself as well, and it was I only caught the last couple of hours, but it was a great day by all accounts. So up in Wellington this last weekend, we had a pop-up course go up in Moonshine Park. Now, Moonshine Park is a kind of a park that's alongside the Hutt River as you're driving north from Lower Hutt to Upper Hutt. And it's just before the highway crosses over the way. Crosses over the river, it's just on the right hand side, so if you're trying to picture it. And there was a pop-up course there, and this has all been designed by a chap called Sean Lincoln, local disc golfer here, who's got quite a lot of history playing Ultimate, but is now very much disc golf. And he's been designing this course, and they did a pop-up day in conjunction with Greater Wellington Disc Golf. So if you came along, you paid $20, and all of the money that was raised was ring-fenced to supply baskets and tee pads and all the stuff that we know that you've got to buy when you go into putting in a disc golf course. But we're still in the process of getting council approval. So the Upper Hutt City Council, they've given us the tick, I think. They're pretty happy with what's going on. It's then moved to the next stage, and there's still a few more kind of stuff to go through. And then, of course, the course design needs to be iterated, etc. Anyway, I was one of 95 people who showed up on Sunday. I couldn't believe it when they announced those numbers. I thought it was incredible. What was really good to see, and what I haven't really seen so much of in the past, is what I saw a lot of families. So I saw a lot of dads with a couple of kids, or maybe there's a group of mum, dad, and a few little ones, and I thought that was great. So the people came along, they paid their $20, and they played for as long as they wanted on the course, which was great. Everybody chipped in and lent their basket for the course to be popped up, and 95 people, and I think the money raised, they must have raised enough money to probably get 2 or 3 baskets in that one day.
That's incredible numbers, man.
Which is incredible.
We'll bring you behind the fourth wall. We obviously have a little bit of a chat about things that go on that we're going to talk about in the show, and you mentioned that to me, and I probably rudely said quite a lot lower number than that. When you said 95, I went, oh my gosh. That's incredible. So shout out to all you guys that showed up and did that. Yeah, as Matt said, 2, 3, maybe 4 baskets. couple baskets and a couple tea pads. You guys paid for a lot of stuff
Well,
already, so well
there
done.
was eight. That's right. We had 18 baskets were kind of donated by the local disc golfers and for use on the day. It was only kind of stakes in the ground for tee pads and stuff. So I mean, it was dry, right, and it has been dry for a while, so the ground isn't going to get chewed up. And so yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, fingers crossed that course can go in and can go in soon. Yeah, it was fantastic. Right, now let's get on with the rest of the show. Now, our guest this evening, many of you will know, has a statement to make. Is all I'm going to say, and I'm sure that he'll talk a little bit more about what to do. But if you do have any questions for Leon as he goes along, then please feel free to pop it into the comments. I'm going to be kind of looking at the chat and kind of collating some of them as we go. Might not be able to answer them as we go, but we'll see. So good evening.
And just
go on, sorry.
I was going to say one thing before you bring Mr. Leon in, guys. I've just seen the subscriber totals go up to 330.
Ooh, yes.
20 more subscribers. I'm going to bring this up while all of you are here right now, because it looks like we've got almost record-breaking numbers. Get us up to that 350 subscriber mark, guys, and the next giveaway is coming up.
We want to do another giveaway, honestly. We got a lot of stuff to give away. And what's something, actually, now you've brought the subscribers up, Morgan, out of it, for every 4 people who are watching this stream right now, one of them's not subscribed. So there's people out there, the opportunity is out there. Hit the subscribe button. Anyway, right, let's bring in our guest for this evening.
On to the guest.
Our guest tonight is Mr. Leon Botha.
Hey Matt, how's it going? Yeah. How's my sound coming through?
We'll be good.
Awesome. Yeah. Far away. Look, first of all, thanks for having me on. It's been quite a week, and I've got to say, I don't know if it's the right word, but I'm actually a little bit exasperated by everything that I've seen and heard this week, and the difference of opinions about everything that's been going on over the last 4 weeks is quite wow. It's pretty wearied. But okay, firstly, I think it's important that we acknowledge our international viewers for tonight's show. I've spent the better part of this week in conversation with our international stakeholders, and just assuring them that, in fact, all is well in New Zealand disc golf, regardless of what was said on last week's show. But I'll talk about that later and bring everybody up to speed on what's actually going on regarding the international involvement in New Zealand disc golf. So again, thank you guys for the time to come and watch tonight. I know some of you are going to watch the recording in the mornings. I know there's one person that's watching right now, and it's bloody early in the morning there. So cheers for being there. I think it's important just to note that for anybody who thinks that tonight standing or points scoring, I can't emphasize that you couldn't be more wrong. This past week, some of our key players in this game, guys that work behind the scenes, have basically told me, look, we're out. After all the time and effort that they put into growing the sport and doing it the right way, it just seems as if nobody cares. I mean, their efforts have been taken for granted. It's almost never acknowledged. And then, what we've experienced up north, and then there's cheers all around and pats on the back. And this is pretty much for a comp that typically, sorry to say it, is not really going to live up to a club event. And I'm going to get some hate for that, and that's fine. And I will get to that in a bit. But I'm also speaking for these same people. They've asked me to, but the thing is, they don't want to be subjected to the same vitriol that others have. But again, that is something, it's just something that people need to know and understand, that there are a few facts about how we got here in the first place. And, call it cautionary, but it's no secret that I speak my mind. And I have no issue with standing up for the few that just like, and going against those who, for no reason, just like watching shit burn, and I'm going to try and be as respectful as possible. it's important to know also that my capacity as chairman of the Elite Series, that tour is doing fine. Obviously, it can be better. Any event can be, but it doesn't need me to defend for itself. I'm also not here as a director of NZDSS either. It does what it does to look after disc golf and disc golfers, and I have nothing to say from that platform either. Okay, all stakeholders in New Zealand are free to do whatever they think is right with their business. It is, after all, their business. So tonight I'm pretty much here in my personal capacity as a disc golfing fan, as someone that believes that New Zealand can be a leader and not a follower in the world of disc golf. And I say this because, you know, I've put my own money into this sport. That's how much I believe in it. I've invested inordinate amounts of money in and it's coming out of my own pocket, right? I mean, if numbers are to go by, I don't know anybody that has pumped more money into the sport that I have. And it just is what it is. And I mean, if this bugs you, if it offends you that I'm saying this, then sorry, okay? But at the end of the day, if I sit quiet, then it's almost as if I am complicit in what is not working within New Zealand disc golf. So, you know, and all right, but enough. I'm sure everybody here wants to know what I actually have to say to Henry in response to last week's show. And I've about this for a week, but it's just, I just think it needs to be said. And Henry, this is to you, mate. I think you started out with a good idea, but I also think that you had no idea what you were getting yourself into. We did try to let you know, but in all fairness, mate, it wasn't well received, and so we kind of just sat back and said, well, have at it. So for you, Henry, just to give you a little bit of perspective, because you are still relatively new on the scene, and I mean, I've been here for more than 10 years now, and just to give you a little bit of perspective on where we're at in New Zealand disc golf, the old guard, when I got involved and started asking for change, were a lot less forgiving. I had them tell me that I was stupid for wanting to start such a big business that I did in disc golf, that I had no understanding of the disc golf scene in New Zealand, that whatever I do will fail, and they basically knew better, and that I'm just some arrogant know-it-all, and everybody's going to laugh at me. Well, it's a good thing I'm as stubborn as I am. Christchurch Disc Golf, of which I'm a founding member, by the way, we started to clean up this sport, and we were swift and very direct and very uncompromising, and everybody was happy about that. I mean, to give you an idea, somebody took it upon themselves to come to my home, my house, where I live, in the middle of the night, and they smashed out every window of every one of my cars in my driveway. I've received death threats. It got to the point where local disc golfers would actually hang out with my kids at Jelly Park while we were helping other people, just to make sure that nothing happened to that. And that was basically because we had certain individuals within the disc golf scene that were upset about the fact that I was speaking up about the use of marijuana, of weed, during golf tournaments. I was dead set against it. It's a sanctioned PDGA event. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't really care what you do at home. You want to smoke weed, that's up to you. It's got nothing to do with me. But when you're going to a tournament where I've got kids, where my children are there, and I don't want them subjected to that. I mean, we're trying to build an all-inclusive community, and parents notice this thing. And parents are often overlooked when we're trying to invite the youth into the game. And, you know, so it wasn't ideal. And, yeah, we're trying to be professional. And that's kind of, you know, where the dark side of it came into it. When players sort of were saying, you know, all they've got to really go on as reference is they watch Joe Mears, and they're going, wow, can't have big tournaments like that? Can't we have that kind of prize money and all that fanfare and everything else? Got me thinking. And so, Morgan, you were involved. We put players together to form a team and who believed in what we were saying about making the sport more professional and to take it to the community and show them, sort of where we are and where we're at, and to get that vision out into the disc golf community. I mean, we want sponsors who've got the money to take us seriously, but I mean, we were not even taking ourselves seriously. We weren't taking the sport seriously. So, how can we expect people to invest in that if we are not doing that? So the team went out and they did their best to sort of show people what a professional disc golfing scene looks like. They dressed well. I know Tommy did. He refused to smoke if he was wearing one of our shirts. I mean, he really took it to a different level. I had Johnny from Disc Golf South invite me down to Invercargill when they were putting on their first Southern Smash, and I was very humbled to be able to speak to the club committee and say, this is how I think a pro tournament should look like. And they took that. They put on the first Smash. It was amazing. They've built on that every year from there on, and it's one of the best competitions, if not the best. Sorry, I've got GCO to be loyal to. That is running in New Zealand at the moment. My point is that we did all of this the hard way. We had little or no help from people that ideally should have been supporting us and helping us. I mean, some actually went out of their way to sabotage what we were trying to do. But ultimately, we all worked together. And so far, everything that disc golfers are enjoying in disc golf today is pretty much what we've done as a collective. We stepped up and we just went and put the work in so that we, and this is, you have what we never had. You've had offers of assistance from everyone. We all believe in you and we want you to succeed. But I know you've been told contrary to that. And I'm sorry about that, but that's the reality of it. I mean, if you've got NZDG, you've got Disc Shop, Water Cooled Sports, Generation Disc Golf, Christchurch Disc Golf, Disc Golf South. You've got the boys from Queenstown, Dunedin, Nelson, Wellington, Taupo. We're all working towards a common goal. And it just seems that sort of the only person that's not sort of sharing this vision of moving the golf forward is you. I'm sorry. Even after we offered the help, you decided just you were going to do your thing. So just to be blunt, okay, I'm a little bit pissed off that you said last week that there's this small subsection of the disc golfing community that's against you. And I'm telling you, man, I take zero pleasure in telling you that you are that subsection. You are your own worst enemy. The only reason that those visiting pros have any idea that there's any sort of political rivalry or division in New Zealand disc golf can only be because you told them, because there isn't any of that. We've been working together now for ages. So I don't know how you can justify making such an inflammatory statement, and you put all of our international stakeholders on edge. I mean, I don't know if you were trying to just muddy the waters for your tour not being what you promised it would be. I don't know, but what you did was unprofessional, it was naive, and it showed a lack of personal responsibility. You had the support from everyone, but I think you let your ego get in the way of something absolutely great. Lastly, you took up almost whole of last week's show, just preempting what you knew you would be asked about as far as player dissatisfaction was concerned. You had long explanations and excuses. But the thing is, what nobody heard from you was, I'm sorry. You never once said that you were sorry. I mean, how about just saying, I'm sorry to the guys that were selling their discs so that they had money to come to your event? What about the Australian player who took his savings and came here to play nationals, the pinnacle of our tournaments, and he's not coming back, mate? The way you spoke to some of your volunteers that apparently let you down. What about just saying, hey guys, sorry? You never once said that you were sorry. And the thing is, this is going to sound weird. What I'm so disappointed about is that you're a good guy. You know, you really are. Your heart's in the right place. You definitely have what it takes to move the sport forward. You know, New Zealand disc golf needs people like you. You know, I just think that what you did is it's not who you are. I'm assuming that this is why you have the support that you have, because of what you're trying to do. That's just it. You're a good guy, but your national event, the event that we're supposed to be the most proud of, it wasn't a good event, even till you said so.
Let's move on to how this could go forwards, right? How can we move this on?
We are still here. We are still more than happy to help Henry and support him to make the TDU amazing. I mean, we don't care that it's not our tour. That's not about that. We will help anybody. You've got an idea like this. You've got the support of people that have been doing this a long time. So why not? Why not let them help you? You know, I mean, I don't understand what the plan was. I mean, if you think about it, the tour itself was a great idea. The marketing was top notch. I mean, if you look at what they were trying to achieve and the fact that they got the sponsors that they managed to attract was amazing. GK Pro, epic. I mean, those guys did an amazing job to highlight New Zealand as a disc golf destination. They did an amazing job. I mean, they made this place look like you would be a fool. You know, Tapa was a good move for the first comp. I mean, Stephen Ken and his crew did an amazing job. I mean, you know, it just showed their experience of doing top-level competitions. Bottle Lake had a great course. And that you can put down to the work, definitely, of Jay Watkinson and his dad, and the insane amount of people that helped them carve this course out in the woods. The only negatives from Bottle Lake, again, was poor communication, same thing. Some T-pads that weren't that great, and of course some players, well, they've still got to get paid. So yeah, Paradise, I've got no comment on Paradise. I didn't watch it, and I didn't get any feedback on that.
Leon, I think it might be time to move on from these guys and the guys you're talking about, and sort of move on to some more productive chat.
Well, the thing is, Morgan, you know, we want to get productive. You know, we want this to be where it needs to be. But unfortunately, this kind of conversation is something that needs to take place. It needs to happen. Because we had people that gave feedback on nationals and they were shot down. They were told that they were nitpicking. They were told that, oh no, the TD's under immense scrutiny. He's ever experienced. And the thing is, how are we supposed to improve our tournaments if we don't welcome that feedback? And the crazy thing about nationals is the feedback that was given was nothing to do with nitpicking. I think that's an unwarranted statement to make. The feedback was, this was not an A-tier event as promised. It was not. Basic things were not adhered to when it came to nationals. I mean, it makes. I got phone calls at 8:30 in the morning. What are we supposed to do? There's nobody here to check us in. Do we just start playing? I mean, come on, man. You know, there was a basket missing on a live round. Somebody forgot to put it back after something that they did the night before. This is not nitpicking. This is an A-tier event. The TV wasn't even on site before 12 o'clock. Hayden was there to announce the players coming off after they won their AMS divisions. And one of those players, by the way, was Jim Oakes, multiple world champion. He's also the partner of Juliana Corba. You know, I mean, and there wasn't even a first aid kit on site, which they needed on day one, by the way. So this is not nitpicking. This is not on trying to crucify anybody. These are just basic things that people want out there and they want to sort it out. I mean, it's just, it's no good for our premier event. It just shows a lack of respect, and just how it is.
So let's
also now. Yeah.
Sorry, let's move on. Let's move on, because we did
Let's move on. NZDG.
We did the individual where we spoke about stuff about nationals last week. We did it kind of to death.
Yes.
So let's move on.
All right. So let's talk about the NZDG. I don't know what they were thinking. Brady was at that event, and what did they do to correct the problems that they were having? I mean, they were evident on day one. They had time to raise the issues with the TD and fix them by day two. And this didn't happen. I mean, the NZDG should have been aware of it. I mean, they claim that this is their event. But again, they don't do anything. They ride on the TD's coattails and kind of hope for the best. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if we want to blame Henry for nationals, that's fine. But I'm sorry, the NZDG needs to take some blame for this as well. In fact, I would say equally so, because they were there. I mean, they even had the PDGA representative for New Zealand there. These are not things that are going to showcase our country. They're just not. You know, I'm sorry. It's just, it's a redundant and toothless institution that really is. I mean, what exactly are they doing for disc golf? Because every time we ask, it's a case of, oh, well, you've got to understand these are volunteer positions and people need time. Then why did they volunteer in the
So
first
talk
place?
us through a little bit, Leon, about this, some of the things that Christchurch Disc Golf have been doing that have had some success that, you know, you'd like to see at a larger level.
Well, the thing is, what Christchurch has got going on now is a lot. I made them a promise when I ran for chairman of the NZDG 2 years ago, that I was going to do these things on a national basis. And unfortunately, that was shot down because apparently.
So talk us through what some of those things were.
Well, as regards to why we never got chairmanship
So
of
what
the
were
NZDG.
some of the initiatives that were run in Christchurch that you're having success with?
Oh shit, running. There was nothing running at the time. So what we have running now in Christchurch is we have a schools coaching program. In fact, we now actually have inter-schools competitions here. We've got outreach work using disc golf for children with Down syndrome. We've got a mental health support in place for first responders. We've done quite a bit of work with Oranga Tamariki to work with troubled youth. We work with families to reconnect with their children. We've got the largest club in Christchurch in the country, being Christchurch Disc Golf. We helped Canterbury University get their club off the ground. They're over 100 members already. We now have the most disc golf courses, and we're still offering free coaching every single week for newcomers. Even experienced players come down there. We've still got the only juniors competition, which is free for juniors to enter. It rivals just about any C or B tier event, prizes to match. Jerry Park is the most played disc golf course this side of the world. And let's not forget, we've got GCO fairly squarely put us in the sights of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And the sad thing is that none of this has anything to do with the NZDG. They haven't helped. They haven't been a support. It's nowhere else in the country. It's just here. It's what I promised to fulfill as the chairman, and I've done it. And I haven't done it alone. I've got an amazing crew that's helped us out, and I'm very, very grateful to the people that have actually just stood by me and the team just to make this.
So talk us, because some of those initiatives are fantastic, and they're initiatives that are at the moment unique in terms of where they're only really being done in Christchurch, maybe in smaller pockets elsewhere around the country. If I was being fair, of course.
That's correct.
So
yeah, we've helped a couple of clubs.
So let's look at what happens next. Where does this go? What's your kind of view on how this looks in the future? Where does this all go to?
Well, what we've all been working towards, and this is the thing that people don't see, is what's going on in the background. And the reason that people don't see it is because we don't announce anything until we have 100% commitment. The reason that we had the South Island Champs and it had to be at Hagley Park was because I was already talking to the Disc Golf Pro Tour about coming to New Zealand. I mean, Avery coming over here was not by chance. It was very intentional, and he came to scope out Hagley Park and identify it as a possible location. And he focused on us also as a country. Is this something we could do? Do we have the infrastructure within the disc golfing community to be able to host such an event? Maverick Robertson came over to help Avery and to be a bit of a sounding board, but also to represent Discmania, and they have some other interests here as well. So we gave him, this red carpet treatment, and if people were paying, sort of noticing what was going on, he didn't go and stay in a hotel somewhere. He stayed with disc golfers when he was here. He was very insistent on that, to hang out with them, to spend time with them, to do all of that, and just to get what was going on with regards to disc golf in New Zealand and the potential of the Disc Golf Pro Tour coming here, and when he left, we kind of had a very direct conversation, and yeah, his concern was a real one. There was not a cohesive community. There were so many people doing their own thing, and he just impressed it upon me that we could do so much better if we had cooperation, if we had structure, if we had dedication to a defined goal. And other than that, he was more than happy to go to Jeff and say, "Oh, hey, we can do this," And I gave him a personal guarantee that I can make that happen. And for the most part, kind of done that. And after this, I went, once I had that in the bag and I knew that it was going in that direction, that's when I went to Christchurch Disc Golf and let them in on what we were doing. And so it kind of went from there. And we brought in more stakeholders. We're here within New Zealand, and they all saw the vision. They all saw the mission. And they all go, "Hey, we need to up." Okay. And that's exactly what happened. Nate being here, yes, he's here for the Tour Down Under, and that was the perfect time for him to come in and have a look at New Zealand. And Jeff has asked him to check it out and see if this is something that's worthwhile. But the thing is, I love that Nate is so enthusiastic, and he's a great ambassador for the sport, and he's excited, and I understand why he said it. But I would have, we were kind of hoping to announce that ourselves once this was sorted, once we knew without a shadow of a doubt, yes, New Zealand, North, South Island, whichever, is a definite a definite thing done for 2025, and it's possible to host maybe even 2 events here and incorporate Australia as well, just to make it worthwhile for the pros to kind of move through the east of the country. So yeah, we've exceeded that. But after what was said last week by Henry about this small subset, kind of took the wind out of everybody's sails. Like 2 years of working our butts off to tell the world that we're doing good, we've sorted our issues, we're moving forward as a group. It was very disheartening. I've spent this whole bloody week talking to the same people again, overseas, the people here in New Zealand that wanted out, and just trying to get them to stick with it. And
so so looking forward, then, do you think that, because Avery's in New Zealand in just over a month's time, just under a month's time actually, I think it is, with Maverick and Ella.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see?
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see more pros coming over after they've been and gone? What do you think's going to happen?
Yes, there's definitely a big interest in it. We've been putting in a lot of time and effort marketing New Zealand to the Disc Golf Pro Tour and obviously their players. We are obviously more focused on the managers, the team managers, and the companies behind them that sponsor them, so that because ultimately they're the ones that sponsor the players, and they're the ones that give them the guidance on something like this, and it still falls into that vision of being able to go anywhere in the world and go and get your tour points and still be able to qualify for the various tournaments like USDGC and the likes. So yeah, definitely players are coming. Again, like I said, I don't want to announce stuff
not at all
before it's cast in stone, but we've invited Jeff. We want him to come here and see it for himself, and I've spoken with him, and he's keen. But yeah. Time is a big issue for the men. I mean, they're starting their season, but we definitely would like to have him here to come and join Avery and them and see, what we are getting up to. I mean, this whole thing about the NZDG, this should be under their banner. Our governing body should be behind this. They should be the ones doing all of this. It's just, because this is for everybody. This is not for the Christchurch crowd to go, oh, this is for us, and this is for everyone. I know people right across this country, man, and they all go overseas. So why not bring these heroes, these absolute legends of the sport, bring them here where you can see them in action, see them play. That's all we're trying to do, man.
Yeah.
But it's disheartening, and it takes the wind out of your sails when you have absolute mad spewed out.
Well, okay, look, so I think that there's obviously we've had an experience. We've had Henry put his points across last week. He got a chance to say his point. You've had some chance to say yours tonight. I'd like to kind of it's pretty difficult because I'd like to kind of move us along, we can look back and learn from stuff, but I think there comes a point where we need to be like focused purely on what's coming up.
I can't agree more, but to do this, people need to put the nonsense aside, man. There's a lot of whispering in ears and stuff like that, and it's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. This one says this one's, I mean, it's like kindergarten. Enough.
Okay.
Because otherwise we are not going to create the right impression with the people on the other side of the pond. There's a great bunch of people involved here in the sport in New Zealand. We've got the backing of the international guys. They want to come here. But we've just got to change gear, man. We've got to stop this nonsense.
Well, look, I hope that when Avery's here later on this month, that we can get him and a bunch of representatives from all corners of New Zealand disc golf together, and kind of be nutting out hey, let's work out how we can do this, right? Because as you said, it's not going to happen with a person or a single group of people. Well, what I'd love to see is like and I think NZDG do need to be involved in whatever capacity is appropriate. But what I'd love to see is like a North Island committee and a South Island committee, both with the responsibility of running an event which could appear on the the Disc Golf Pro Tour in 25, right? And so you make it worth the while. You separate them by a fortnight so that people have got time to actually not be travelling the whole time they're here or practicing or playing disc golf, right? They've actually got time to breathe. And you and you say, right, you people in the South Island, your responsibility is to organise a tournament in the South. It doesn't matter where it is, only that it's got to be in the best place, right? So it doesn't matter if it's in Invercargill or if it's in Christchurch, but the idea is it's in the best place. And the same with the North Island people. They do the same. You go, where's the best place to host this? And you tell them you get people together and do it. What I think is kind of happening or has happened at the moment is that there's nobody kind of bringing everybody together. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are trying to do that, but nobody's succeeding. Honestly, is my kind of view on this. So I don't know.
I will disagree with you on that, Matt, because if you look at the people we've got down here in the South Island, we are all working together, and we're working together with quite a few people in the North Island. I mean, we have come together. We've gotten rid of so much of the politics and the nonsense that's been going on, and it's all been Chinese whispers, which is why people were upset with each other in the first bloody place, and that's all been dealt with. We don't have any politics. Hand on heart, mate, it's been dealt with. What we need is a strong governing body. That's what we need.
I'd agree with that.
NZDG needs to step up.
I'd agree with that.
And we don't have it. And the people that are there, and I don't, there's a lot of people there I don't know, but I do know who's leading this thing. And I'm sorry, no. Until we get the NZDG where it needs to be, where they've got some absolute freaking kahunas to do the job, this is where we're at. We need them to take responsibility and to take action and to hold people accountable. That's important, because without that, we will always be a rudderless community. Okay.
So look, I agree with that. I think NZDG do need to be a strong governing body, and that is right that they're involved in all of this and that they're coordinating and organising, communicating with everybody. That's something which I think that we could that could be done better, honestly. And I'd like to see a little bit more of that. I don't know what else I can say, or indeed how much what more, where else do we go from here? I mean, is there anything more that you had to say?
Well, this much I'll tell you. Spoke with him this morning, and Jeff will send us a little something next week, which you can play on the show. Before I forget to tell you that, by the way. But Ronald Reagan had a saying. And he said it's amazing how much we can accomplish when we don't care who gets the credit for it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where we're at. Everybody's, the guys that are out there, for the most part, we're working together. But it just seems, they want to be the guy that did this. I mean, and I'll admit this outright. My whole back went up against Henry day one when he was announced as the young entrepreneur bringing professional disc golf to New Zealand. Ridiculous. Because they've been coming here for quite a while. We had them here last year. And I'm just going, how? And so that kind of got me off on a bad footing, to be fair. And I'll own that. But again, we've got great people here in this sport, and we need to be careful that we look after them. There's a lot of guys putting time and effort in, and we need to look after them. And we need to acknowledge them.
Leon, you're the same
face.
as me. You've had over 10 years in the sport, dedicated thousands of hours
Yeah.
We've both dedicated thousands of hours, and I feel you, man. Chat, I can see, I'm reading all of the chat here, guys, and I can see that a lot of you are upset and not liking what you're hearing. We have this platform for people to come and have a say. Sometimes it's a bit more of an extended version than other versions. Some people come in for 5 minutes, some people come in for 20. That's fine on the show. We want to have everyone have their say. But Leon, you've been in this game for a long time, and I can understand when you've been working on these things for so long, put so much money into the background, why you'd have your tail up at this. It's been a hard chat, this one tonight, if I'm honest. I've sort of sat here quiet, not really said my piece, and let you guys sort of go about it. I'm in an interesting position, obviously with NZ Elite Series as well as our tour director. So, it's a bit hard for me to sit here and comment on too many things, especially, with the chat going one way, you going another, and all this and that. But, man, guys in the chat, I'm with Leon. I fully support him in what he's moving towards. This DGPT thing is no joke. This has been going for over 2 years now in the background. Someone said in the chat that it needed to be out in the foreground and, working together with this. These aren't the sort of things you can work with in a big group in a capacity like this. This needs to be worked at a one-on-one, one-on-two level. And,
Do you know what the value of a Disc Golf Pro Tour event is to New Zealand?
Hundreds of thousands.
Does anybody have any idea what kind of money we are talking about for local economies? What money that I'm going to make, or the business, or even Generation Disc Golf, or anybody else? It's not money we're going to make. It's what our local we are talking millions of dollars. This is not something we can go, oh, by the way, we've streamed. Because as soon as we do that, big business gets involved. They make everything, they walk away with all of it, and we get left and hung out dry. Because that's just how it works.
Yeah.
So we can't just announce these things. And trust me, we are busy on even bigger projects than that right now. And I wish I could share it with you guys, but the same way I'm not handing over anything to the NZDG regarding the DGPT until they've sorted their stuff out. I would be happy for them to run with it and to put it under their umbrella and have an organization that we can be proud of. But that's not now.
And I think that I agree with that final point. And I think that actually a lot of people would agree with you there as well. I want to wrap this up. So is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I've seen some of the comments in the chat, and you know what? I'm well aware that I'm probably not going to gain any friends here tonight. I'm fine, okay, at all. But I'm not going to let people sort of walk over the work that the unsung heroes have done, because there's a lot of people that have picked up my crazy ideas and gone with it. So, and it's their work, it's their effort, it's their credit. It was my idea, and yes, I've supported them, but they did that work. And what people need to kind of realize is that when you attack me, you're attacking them. And that's the reality of it. That's just the long and the short, So if you want to see change, get involved, speak up. Just speak up, man. I'm tired of, I'll always stand up, but why must I be the one?
Yeah.
Why must it always be me? I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I've done a lot, and I'm tired. So it is what it is now. I'm pretty much handing this off, to the rest of the team to continue with it. But I don't know. I can't. Yeah, I'm tired.
Okay. So look, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you for coming on and sharing your perspective and your view. And you look. There's some people disagreed in the chat, and I'm sure that if you've got a chance to answer some of their questions or comments, then you'll get to that shortly.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
Leon.
you so much for your time, Leon. See you next time.
Cheers. Thanks.
All right.
Right,
and we're back to 2.
We're back to 2.
and
Right, let's get on with some other parts of the show. I'd like to talk about the results of last week's tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Just before you get into that, Matt, because I think this is kind of important. Guys, there's a number of you in the chat, and I've read every single comment that's come through here. This platform is for everyone. If you guys want to reach out and jump on the show and bring to the show what you're doing with disc golf, or just want to even have a chat about what's happening in your local neighborhood, even if you're not part of it, we would love to have you on the show. We are for everyone. Please DM us. We would love to have you on.
Yeah. Look, I actually, Morgan, it's right that you mentioned that now, actually, because we are, I think, the only platform in New Zealand in this kind of space, and so if anybody does come to us and says, "Hey, I've got something that I want to share with people," then absolutely we're going to want to listen to what that is, and I think that goes for anyone out there. So let's hear from you. If you've got some experiences or you've got some ideas, then bring them forward. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah. Do we want to bring it up now? Next week's people that are on the show. Do we want to leave it till later?
Actually, you could. No. We'll do it now because actually it's probably quite apt.
We're really Morgan, good at transitions over here, so let's use it.
We did. Morgan, you queued them up. So why don't you do the announcement?
Knock it out the park, you say. All right, guys. Bit of generation news, which is quite cool. Adam and I have obviously been TDing a lot of events over the last few years. For me, it's 31 now PDJ sanctioned events. I'm not looking to take a step back, but I'm actually we are looking to expand our TD umbrella that we're calling it here at Generation Disc Golf. And what we're actually doing this year is we're passing over the baton at Sub-Zero for TDing, assistant TDing, and the guys that are running the event this year. So you're going to see 2 new faces running Sub-Zero this year. Mr. Arne Burgess will be leading the way as TD with GCO's tournament director, Ewan Craig, assisting him as the assistant TD. So I'm really, really excited to see what these guys can do with the event. They think it can stay how it is, and I'm giving them the wee boot up the butt to go, let's see what you guys can do. But Adam and I will be assisting them in every way that we can to make it as much of a success as we've managed to make it the last couple of years. So that's my wee bit of news. I think it's pretty exciting. It's exciting for me at the very least, and I'm excited for you guys. I know you're both watching, so thank you very much for taking the opportunity.
And they'll be on the show next week.
Yes,
right?
they will. The important
part. to talk to us a little bit about what they've got planned or some of their initial ideas that they're sort of throwing around with regards to Sub-Zero. So stand out for that. More info coming. Whilst we're on the subject of future episodes, the week after. So we're looking at the 7th of March here. On the 7th of March is our stats episode. So you remember we do this every year where we do a little bit of a deep dive into the UDisc and PDGA stats for the year of 2023. And we have a look at where are the best performing courses, where are the most unique players playing, what are some of the record rounds and stuff that we've seen. I think we might see a few records get broken this year, and we'll be able to see what the growth of disc golf is. Of course, all that information is then made available to anybody who wants it. We'll forward out the presentations to anybody. And in the past, I know that it's helped conversations people have had with local councils or other groups which can help with course installation, etc. So I think that's something to look forward to. So make sure that you tune in not only next week for Ewan and Arm, but the week after for our stats episode. It's normally a goodie. We might have a few quiz questions along the way, which last year were were pretty tough from memory, but we'll
they were. I don't think I got very many right last year.
We'll try and tone them down this year and make them a little bit more gettable for everybody, right?
And Matthew Rance, you've said dates ? For Sub-Zero. I'm just waiting on a response or a confirmation from the golf club on those dates. So it'll be June, July sort of time, though. We're looking to get that cold weather all ramped up and ready for Sub-Zero. And also, if you missed it today, guys, registration for Montana is also in this week.
There we go. Right.
Shameless plug. Yeah, I haven't watched the last round just yet, but I was assuming that it was super windy just because of conditions we had locally around here. It's all good, guys. You're stuck with me.
There we go. Right. Okay, so Corey Ellis takes out the Paradise Place by 6 shots. That final round wind was just horrendous. Quite frankly, and honestly, I don't think I would have enjoyed playing in that kind of weather at all. Only got myself. Morgan, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. So apparently it's just me that they've got. I don't know.
Ooh. Unmute. Hello. We're back.
I think we're back. Okay, lovely stuff. Yeah, look, a great fight and battle by Levi in the first couple of rounds to put himself into that position and really just fell away in that final round with a couple of real tough holes, especially out in the open in the back nine.
Yeah, I remember looking at the scores and going, oh man, it's all on here, let's go Levi, and I went off to do whatever I was doing at the festival I was at, and then I came back an hour later and was just gutted for him.
Yeah, it was a shame to see it end that way, but props to Levi, right? He's proved, I think he's proved if there was any doubt, he's the best player in New Zealand by
there was definitely no doubt there. I don't even think that's what the question was. It was like, can he hang with the big dogs?
Yeah.
Yes, he can.
Absolutely.
100%.
Sullivan, Tipton and Jackson Sullivan round out the top 5. Looking down into FPO, Hayley Flintoff takes the victory over Zoe Andike. Yes. This is a fantastic result. Well done to Hayley.
Huge win
there. That's massive and really made her mark in the final 2 rounds, which are arguably the toughest conditions. So yeah, well done to Hayley and Zoe.
That probably a lot. That probably speaks a lot to the experience she's had on that course. Many years of playing on that course. She's very well aware of what she needs to do out there, and that might have been all it came down to.
Yeah. Also, I suspect the conditions. People from your area will tell me otherwise, but I'm sure that I suspect the conditions in Wanaka can be similar to some of the conditions that you get in Paradise, and so playing in those kind of crosswinds or those swirly, blustery, exposed tops is perhaps more familiar.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. As you say, like Lismore Park sits right up on top of a bare-faced hill looking out across the mountains and the lake where they get the exact same conditions. Yeah. So, well-versed.
Mikey Yu takes out MP40 in the final round in a real tight battle with Simon Feasey that goes all the way. It's really only the final round where Mikey Yu pulls away. So well done to him for that victory. Ed Waddington, I think we called this, wins MP50.
I believe we did.
Relatively comfortably, but probably needed that last round of kind of 5 shots, to make it that easy. And down in MA1, Cooper Solis, we called this as well. I think we said that Cooper
Good, and
was
another Wanaka night.
indeed. Shooting a 987 final round is pretty impressive in those conditions. So well done to Cooper. Down in FA1, Victoria Speller wins this one quite comfortably again. This one we called, although perhaps less impressively for us to call it, given the margin of victory. Stuart Gilchrist wins in MA40. He's a local Queenstownian. Is that the right word?
Yeah, sure. We'll take it. I've heard this card was one of the best cards to be on all weekend.
It's the best division.
A couple of those
it's the best division, so you can't be surprised. But yeah.
Yeah, well, a group of 4. These guys got to play with each other all weekend long.
Oh, brilliant! That's the way it should be. It's the way it should be. Down in FA40, Nina Duckles takes out the win here over Sue Brown.
That's a great win for Nina. I'm stoked to see that.
Yeah, that is really good actually. That's really good.
Absolutely.
And Wayne Brown takes out MA50. Over Mark Tebbett. I think we called that was going to be a pretty tight battle between those two as well. So well done.
I definitely was. I was back in Tebbs for the win on that one, but good big ups, Mr. Wayne Brown.
Hung on in the end.
He's a legend.
What?
Oh, he did too. Yeah, 5 shots over Mark in the last round. Wow.
Yeah. And down in MA2, Stefano Macchi wins over Joel Maunder. With a final round which put him into the lead, so well done to Stefano. Right, now what I want to do, Morgan, is I'm going to stay on the PDGA site because I want to go through this. Now this is my own PDGA page and I'm only using me because it's a bit, I don't have to embarrass anybody else. What would you do if you wanted to know, hey, I've played a couple of rounds this month, how's that going to affect my rating? There's a way to do it. There's a way to...
I was about to say, is that a rhetorical question? Because I tell you what I'd do. I wouldn't look.
No. So there is a way to do it, and it's on the PDGA site, right? So the first thing you need to do is in Chrome, open up your Chrome and go to this little jigsaw piece thing in the top corner called extensions. And then if you open up your extensions, you want this one here. It's the PDGA ratings tool. So you can just search for it, install it. Doesn't take much to install. Just click it and it gets accepted, and that's it, right? So you just PDGA rating tools, and what that'll do is it'll put this adjusted rating thing onto your PDGA page, or indeed anyone's PDGA page when you click on ratings detail, right? So you go onto their page. Normally you get this one here. This is the normal page that you come to, but if you click on ratings detail, what'll happen is you can go here and you can add a round. So what we're going to do is I'm going to type in Welly Summer League, and this doesn't need to be an actual league. You can put in whatever you like in the title. It's just for you, really. And then round 1, and then I'm going to put in the scores that I got in this league here, which is the Wellington Summer League that hasn't finished yet. It's still going on. I've only played 2 weeks because my son was born and I haven't played since. And so I'm going to put in these two here, these 922 and the 932. And because it's a league, the date that I need to put in is at the end of the league, right? So, which is then, I think. And is it 922 is that one, and then I hit submit. So you can see, right? It's setting my rating. If I just had that one in, is going to go up to 902, right? Based on one new round, which was this one here I've just entered, and I'm dropping 12 old rounds from over a year ago. Because remember, your rating is based on all of your rated rounds from the previous 12 months from the last date you played, from the last tournament you played, right? So
how many of these can you add on to that list?
Oh, you can add as many as you want. So I can add
Okay,
I can add
cool.
another
So
one.
it's not just one.
No, I can add another one. I can just go to add round here, and I can go again Welly Summer, and I can go round 2. And I can make sure that the date is the same again, down to here, and then round rating 932. A bit fiddly, but you can't put them in more than one at a time. But so what this shows me is that if I don't play any more league rounds, and I don't play any more tournaments until the end of March, my rating's going to go bumped up by 904 to 904, sorry, by 3 points. So this takes into account all of these rounds being disregarded because these are now over a year old. You've got all the Southern Smash and Garden City. They were during February of last year, so that they fall off because they're older than a year, and so I get to drop some of these horrendous league rounds as well, and some not so horrendous.
So this is in Google Chrome. Do you know if you can do this on your phone?
Sorry,
I guess, am I running?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Saying,
if you've got Chrome and you can get the extension to work on your phone, you might be able to. I've not tried it honestly, but
oh yeah, I do have Chrome. I just don't use it.
But this is
there we go. I'll be trying that later.
So what it does is it also puts it down into the table here, and what it will do is I'm not sure I've got any honestly because I don't tend to shoot too many rounds that are very highly rated, and I don't tend to shoot too many rounds that are really low rated. So but if there are any rounds that fall outside, I think I might be wrong, 2 standard deviations of your average, then if the round is lower than that or 100 points, I think lower, then it's disregarded, it doesn't get counted, right? So if I was to go out and shoot a 600 rated round, that would just be scrubbed, it wouldn't count towards my rating, right? So it takes into account that as well, and so you can put it in and see where you end up at. So yeah, I mean, I just
that's a pretty cool tool, and as you
useful,
say, it's a wee bit fiddly only being able to add one rating at a time, but I'm assuming that they're going to update that, and it'll make it a lot more user-friendly over time.
Maybe, but I mean, if you're only adding in a tournament's worth, that's normally 3 rounds or whatever, and so it's maybe not so bad. And so yeah, a little bit of if you wanted to do that, then you can, and you can do it on anyone's page. You don't need to log in. Look, see, I'm not logged into the PDGA site here. I'm just on my page. You can put whoever you want in here, and do your own calculations if you want to see what's going to happen to somebody's rating. So yeah. Anyway, hope that was useful. That's something which as I said, came up in a chat earlier on. Something that we said that we cover in the in the thing today.
Have you spotted Scott Brooker's comment? Sorry, mate. Kids seem to drop your rating by 20 points.
I think that's being. I think that's being generous, honestly. But no,
I like that a lot.
It's. It gives you a rough estimation. Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, you've got to wait until the ratings are officially done because they've got a funny engine sometimes that they work with. So, yeah. And remember, the ratings are updated on the second Tuesday of every month, which is Wednesday morning typically for us because obviously states. So the next update won't be until the 13th of March, probably mid-morning, afternoon of the 13th of March is when you'll see the next one. I'm hoping, actually... Oh, no, actually, the... before these updates go through, I'm hoping to have played the Dystopia in Masterton before then, which is if you haven't seen this, I'm going to plug it again because it's great. Dystopia in which is taking place on the 16th to the 17th of March, right? In Masterton, is.
Sorry.
It's 81 holes. 81 holes, right? Over the course of a weekend. So you play 2 rounds of 27 on Saturday, and then and then you come back for a round of 27 on Sunday morning. Do you fancy that, Morgan?
Oh, absolutely. All day, every day.
It's incredible.
Sorry, I'm just sort of living in my own head right now on Goose's comment, but that surprise/disappointment on Wednesday is kind of cool. Sorry, mate, you got me.
Yeah,
no, that's true.
You're right, Phil. It is. It is. But it never. I don't know. It never seems to move as much as you think it will. Right, even at the top end, right? I see like Levi's rating, and then like I'll see him post like 3 10-40 rated rounds in a tournament, and then go to look at his rating again, it's gone up by 3 points, and I'm like, what? How? I don't understand how that works. Averages, right? But hey ho, that's what it is.
Hey ho,
that's what it is. Right, what else have we got to cover today?
Ashburton Open, upcoming event.
It is. It's the Ashburton Open this weekend. So let's just have a quick look at the field. And Morgan, I'd like to know your picks here for who you think is going to take this out. Let's just have a quick look here. So Sebastian Faulkner and Willie Taratana go head to head.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge battle between those two. Yeah, hang on, where's he gone? There he gone. There he's gone. Good England. Yeah, Seb Faulkner's kind of hard to bet against, but you're right. I mean, Willie seems to do really well in these tournaments that are fringe Christchurch tournaments. I think he won Temuka Tussle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So I think we're going to see a really good battle between those two guys. And then I don't think it'll step off too far, but I think you're going to have a really close battle between the next 5 or 6 guys. It's going to be 1-2 shot separation.
I think you're right. Craig says that Isaac Latter's in with a shot. Absolutely, the way he played at Bottle Lake was very good. He had a good result there from memory, and yeah, I mean Sebastian Faulkner had a bit of an up and down tour down under. Honestly, was he 40 something at nationals, but then bounced back to finish, a lot better at Bottle Lake, 4th, I think, tied 4th.
Yeah, look, this is also. Have you played Ashburton?
No.
It's not for me at least, and I haven't played in just over a year probably there. But it's not a course with huge scoring separation.
Okay.
Now, someone that will be able to take advantage of this course very well because he plays ambidextrous is Phil Botha.
Okay.
I can definitely see this course being very handy to be able to go both directions. I know everyone's got forehands, but being able to throw backhands and forehands with both hands.
A lefty backhand is a different shape to a righty forehand,
100%.
Right? So having that option.
100%. So I think Phil's going to be right there as well. And I mean, we're really just reading off of the top of the ratings list here, but ratings speak for themselves at the same time. So,
Yeah. We are playing at Tynwald, not Ashburton. Okay, so different course. So this could be. Have we got? Okay. Sorry, we were baited by the name. Apologies, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely baited.
So looking down into MA1, this could be quite a tight division. Sam Cole's been coming up in the hot scores once or twice.
Yep, and he's in the chat tonight. Sammy, are you going to take this one down? Let us know. What do you think? Or is Craig Gold going to come and chase you down?
Well, MA1 is always a tight division, so it could be any one of these guys could take this out. Down to MA40, the best division is looks pretty good. It's going to be between Lance and Mark, don't we think?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's time for Scott Brooker to shine. What do you reckon, Scotty? I know you're in the chat too.
I'd love to see it. I think that again, because the ratings here are so tight. It's not like there's. Really, if you're within 50 ratings points of someone, you've really got a chance of taking them out.
I think if we're going to look a little bit deeper into it, the reason that Mark and Lance might get out ahead is because those two battle it out, day in, day out against each other.
Yeah. So
they're good friends, and they know how to have that fight.
Yeah.
So that might be a good reason why they may pull ahead. But let's go, Scott. Come on, Scott.
Yeah.
Changing my pick this week.
And Chelsea, as you've brought it up, very best of luck in FPO as well. We'll be seeing how actually the competition might be well against how you go against the FA40 ladies. A few local disc golfers here, Janine Frost and Rachel Hewitt, I think have both played events before, so we shall see how they go in the FA40 division. MA50, Gregor Brosnahan is the name that perhaps stands out for me.
Yeah, he's hard to look past, man. He's an absolute weapon on the course. I've seen a lot of Gregor playing, and he's very impressive. But I'd also love to see the likes of Andrew Falconer really take on the challenge and lay his mark on Tynwald this weekend. Yeah,
well, it's going to be another tight division, which we'll be looking forward to following. And finally, MA3 is perhaps the hardest division to pick because there's so much inexperience in this division that what goes along with inexperience is big gains when people play well, right? So anyone who's having a bit of a run or has been playing a lot recently could have a good weekend.
Before you make your pick in this decision, I'm going to steal Wellington's Cameron Wu.
Cameron Wu? I don't know Cameron Wu, actually. So
neither do I, but he's from Wellington, and I wanted to steal him from you. I'm with you, Mr. Wu.
Excellent. Well, okay. Well, very best of luck, everybody. Finally, FA3. We've got again nice tight 4-person battle there. I think it's great when you get a card of 4 and they all get to compete and battle each other for the whole weekend. We shall see how they get on. So very best of luck.
It's an interesting ratings there. 2 707s and then 2 unrated. I don't know Amanda Hooper, but I do know Hannah Tibbett, and I would love to see Tibbs. Baby Tibbs come out on top. Maybe we get the Mark Tibbett, Hannah Tibbett duo. Maybe we get the Andrew Faulkner, Sebastian Faulkner duo.
I don't know
what's going to unfold this weekend.
I don't know if we've had too many of those, actually. Maybe we could get the data analytics team to have a look at those kind of combinations to see how they go. But I'm not sure we've had any. Right. Power rankings we'll go through next week after the after the Ashburton Open. There's a bit of a gap then, in tournaments until Dystopia, which is what I mentioned in Masterton, which is the one after. So we've got a few weeks kind of off from tournament previews, and we'll be talking to Arne Burgess and Ewan Craig next week, and then we've got our stats episode on the 7th of March. So yeah, look forward to that. Tebbett trifecta is what.
Yeah,
Jack
sorry, I missed Matt. I completely missed his name on there as well. So apologies. Let's go the trifecta.
Excellent. Morgan, anything else from you tonight?
Oh, guys, it's an interesting episode. There's a lot of seriousness in there, and all I got to say is just not everyone's involved in the political side of things. There's a lot of people like to, word it. Just get out there and have fun, man. It's what it's all about, There's a lot of people in the background doing some hard out work. And I'll be first one to go and tell you, I am one of those people putting in a hell of a lot of work, and I will never forget to have fun. Because as soon as I stop having fun, I don't see the point.
Totally.
So get out there, have a good week, get some disc golf in, enjoy your family, enjoy your pets, and I'll see you next week.
Excellent. Well, look, very best of luck to everybody competing at Ashburton and wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you